Hey everyone, this is Nick O'Malley here with Andrew Callahan here at Gillette Stadium, day before Thanksgiving, one day of practice before Thanksgiving. The Patriots have the day off tomorrow, but they were at practice today. Andrew, you got a quick peek in. What did you see?
Yeah, they were in pads today. It was cold, it was windy, it was November in Foxborough. And everyone was there except for Dwayne Allen. Dwayne Allen suffered a knee injury at Tennessee about 10 days ago, so no surprise there. He did not practice over the bye or yesterday when they were in lighter pads. But today they're really at it. Today's honestly more of a Thursday schedule, as Nick mentioned. You know, they get Thanksgiving off. Typically not the case, but when you have the bye week, that's a nice little perk there. But all signs seem to be a go for guys like Sony Michel, Gronk. This was Gronk's 7th practice, so the Patriots are in good health heading into the Jets on Sunday.
Yeah, things lined up pretty well for them in getting him to sit out, and I don't think he would have been the difference against the Titans, so they probably made a good call there, and just getting him some time off and getting him as close to 100% as you can.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really interesting to see how he looks, obviously. I mean, we've been waiting, and if they've been playing this cautiously, you know, is he at 80%? Is his 100% at this point still a diminished version of himself, or is this going to be the guy that we saw week one? Because obviously, you know, right now, the games only get bigger the further you go along. You might say, okay, it's just the Jets, but listen, they have no margin for error when it comes to if they want to chase that bye week, fighting the Steelers, now possibly the Chiefs, who they have a tiebreaker with, even coming from behind to the Texans. So right now, every game is big, even if they are going to play the Jets twice, the Bills, and still the Dolphins in Miami.
Yeah, in the playoff picture right now, there are 5 teams in the AFC between 9-2 and 7-3. The Chargers out in the West are also a factor, and they're playing pretty much everyone in that picture. So it's going to be kind of chaos down the stretch, and the Patriots are going to have to figure out they need to play better offense than they did against the Titans 2 weeks ago. Do you think they're going to start doing that this week?
I think so. You know, and honestly, I would even go further back than that, right? I mean, when they had the Packers here on Sunday night, they had 17 points going into the fourth quarter, get those 2 touchdowns, one of which is a broken play to Josh Gordon. And some of those, of course, those scores they had were set up by those trick plays. So, you know, before that it was Buffalo at the Bills, only 12 points going into that fourth quarter, so they've really been missing it. It's Gronk, but also Sony Michel, who did return against the Titans, wasn't very effective. The Titans' run defense was very sound. And of course, when they fell behind like they did, they couldn't afford to really hand the ball off. So I think it'll be as much Michel's return as it will be Gronk's that you'll see on Sunday, because the Jets are fine defensively. But this is a team, if you're the Patriots and you believe that you belong in the ranks with the Chiefs, and obviously to earn that bye and be a top 5 team in the NFL, you dominate this team. The Jets don't have the talent to keep up.
Yeah, and they're in a downward spiral right now. It's just right about. They're averaging 10.25 points per game in their last 4 games. Only once in the past 4 games have they passed for over 200 yards, and that was when they threw for 202 in a 13-6 loss against the Dolphins. This is not a good team they're facing right now.
No, it's not. We wrote about this yesterday. They're not sure whether they'll see Sam Darnold or Josh McCown, who's obviously his veteran backup. A year ago, Josh McCown had a career day against the Patriots, threw for 348 passing yards, his most since 2015. And remind you, this is a guy who's in his 16th season and on his 8th team. So, you know, to a degree, it doesn't really matter which one they see, because as you mentioned, Darnold has been up and downs, and he's got 14 interceptions already this season as a rookie. But if the Patriots play the way they're capable of, as they'll tell you, you know, and most teams will, you know, to nonstop on end, then they'll be fine. But if they can get a couple of turnovers and turn this game early, then you put the game more in the hands of either McCown or Darnold, and then you're clearly at an advantage. So you know, it'll be interesting, but I don't think it makes a big difference either way.
Yeah, so far I was just looking this up. The Jets have thrown the 2nd most interceptions in the NFL, and the Patriots are tied for 4th with 11 picks on the year. So that's something that definitely leans in the Patriots' favor. What I wanted to ask you about was a big note coming out of the Titans game was the fact that Tom Brady seemed like he was only looking for Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman, and James White. I think Jacob Hollister was the only one outside of those 3 that had more than 1 catch, and he had 2.
Yep.
So they really need to start spreading out the ball. We talked to Chris Hogan this week, and where the heck has he been?
Yeah, Brady, honestly, in certain instances, have just deliberately ignored Hogan. And part of that comes back to trust. Of course, we talk about this all the time when it's Brady and a specific receiver. And I think the few instances when he's gone to Hogan, it's almost been bad luck, right? I mean, you know, there are things he could do better. You look at the end of the first half when he's looking for him at an out route, and they're trying to get a couple more yards and try a field goal. It's incomplete, and the Patriots have a Hail Mary attempt that gets snuffed out. Brady gets sacked in Tennessee. So then Brady is not really inclined to go back to Hogan, and understandably so. But you've got to keep trying, because as you said, when they're honing in on Josh Gordon and he is strictly looking at one side of the field, and naturally those players are drawing coverage anyway, you've got to be able to willing to turn back. Otherwise, you're a sitting duck. And really, that's what happened to Brady and the Patriots 2 Sundays ago. It wasn't so much that the Titans were bringing extra pressure or really getting that much added pressure with their 4-man rush or a blitz. It was just the fact that Brady was staring down Josh Gordon and Julian Edelman, and the way to remedy that is to move on more quickly and feature guys like Hollister, like Hogan, James White out of the backfield early and often.
It also helped to have Ron Gronkowski running down the seam.
Yeah, and you know what? It's been strange too. We talked about the offense the last 3 weeks. You know, Gronk didn't play against Green Bay or Tennessee, but against the Bills and teams prior to that, they've just been singling him up. And I think part of that, no doubt, has to be due to the injury. We'll wonder how the Jets want to handle him here. He's not commanded the double teams that everyone thinks he's getting. I mean, it hasn't happened. Didn't even happen in Week 2 against Jacksonville. But if he's effective early and often, they get him involved, and he's got these big catches, and it looks like the Gronk of old. Obviously, you've got to send 2 bodies at him, and like you said, that'll open up things big time for the Patriots passing game.
All right, shifting things away from the Patriots, because we do have 3 games tomorrow. Which game are you most looking forward to with the Thanksgiving games?
You know, it's all relative, because we just got news today the Bears are going to be without Mr. Trubisky, Marvin Jones, and Kerryon Johnson are out for the Lions.
And the Redskins don't have Alex Smith.
Yeah, but you know what? That game to me is the big one. You know, down in Dallas, I don't think it's going to be particularly exciting. I don't think they're very exciting teams, but just in terms of playoff implications, that one far and away has the biggest importance carrying with it. So, you know, the Redskins are 1 game up. Dallas made this late surge. I don't still really believe in the Cowboys, but if you're looking for the closest game and the one with the most playoff implications, no doubt it's Redskins-Cowboys.
If you're looking for the most exciting game, I'm really hoping that the Falcons just kind of play up to the competition and we just get kind of a repeat of that Monday night game with Chiefs-Rams where the Falcons just kind of go blow for blow with the Saints, because that would be really fun to watch.
Yeah, and you know what? People forget that was a closer game earlier on in this year with the Saints and Falcons, and part of Atlanta's backslide. They had a number of defensive injuries, and they've started to come back from that, but obviously they're not the team that they have been the past 2 seasons. So for them, you know, I think it could be it's a Thursday night game. Weird things happen on Thursday night. Division games are always close, hence why the Patriots' last 5 games at the Jets have been within 1 score or 10 points. And, you know, for Atlanta, you know, this is your game. You're on Thursday night. Let's do it. But, of course, I mean, the Saints are incinerating everyone. So the Falcons just might be right next in line for that.
I hope this is one of those games where I fall asleep for like 15 minutes and like the second quarter I just miss like 3 touchdowns. That's what I'm rooting for.
It definitely could happen. You could go to the bathroom and miss 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's the Saints right now.
All right, awesome. All right, we'll be back throughout the weekend. You're heading out to New York?
Yeah, we'll be here on Friday. We'll hear from Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Josh Gordon, Rob Gronkowski, and then I'll be down in New York on Sunday.
All right, awesome. Andrew, see you down there. And folks, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you throughout the weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, folks.